Hey guys, welcome back. Just a real quick video here on reproducing some battery labels on Type A and Type B batteries for this little Tom Thumb that I'm restoring. Like a lot of portable radios for that period of time, and in the case of my restoration, the little Tom Thumb uses two Type A batteries and one Type B. And that's really what leads me here to doing the reproduction of the labels. The batteries that are depicted are no good, but the labels are invaluable. So I'll take the labels and scan them in the scanner. We'll reproduce them, and I'll use that as a new skin over the new batteries. The B battery I've been showing is a Eveready 467. It has a DC voltage of 67.5 volts. That is when the battery was actually produced and it was fresh. In this case, the battery has about 2 volts DC output on the voltmeter. And I think most of these batteries were used somewhere around probably 10 to 12 milliamp circuits. But here I'm just taking a bunch of digital photos before I try to open this thing up. Just in case I mess things up, I can go back and actually reproduce the label using the digital photos. But here you can see I've got my X-Acto knife and just kind of cutting the battery open here at the seam lines. And it's pretty straightforward. I just want to try to minimize any damage. So I've got the nice cardboard container that protects the battery cells themselves. There may be better methods than using a razor to cut these things open. Somebody's got a better procedure out there or technique. Please share it in the comments. I'd like to know. I've never opened one of these up before. I've got another radio that's actually got acid spill in it, and I need to clean that up. It's got a old Type B battery in it. Not even sure if it's an Eveready brand or what brand, but the whole inside of the chassis is quite a mess from having that old battery acid spill. But back to this again, you can see me just cutting this open, and got it open pretty easy. It only took probably 5-10 minutes or so. And you can start to see here the battery cells themselves, which I've never seen a battery for this period. So it's pretty cool here in some of the photos that I'm sharing here now. Quite an interesting design. When you think back, on this, when they introduced this battery, probably back in the 40s, I would guess. Pretty state-of-the-art for that period of time. So those snap type connectors you see there, I'll reuse those, or that's my plan. In this case, no need to go buy any or take anything from one of my parts ready. I'll just take it here from the battery itself and reuse it. Here's another look at the snap connectors. So here's the old cardboard container for the battery. And you can see I got the battery out. Spent some time flattening that out. I probably should have taken an iron with some steam. Tried to get some of those wrinkles out. But anyway, I took it to the scanner. I applied some pressure there on the scanner surface. You can see I'm scanning at 1200 dpi. Here's a quick look at the raw file, the output. Then I just took my software, started working with the image itself, and did my best to clean it up and bring some of the contrast and color back to the file. So here's a printed copy. You can see me cutting it out, just kind of a mock-up, not the real copy that I'll end up using to go back over the batteries themselves or the holder that I create. But turned out really well. Here I am again just working with my draft copy. I'm doing some manual edits using some marker pens. And I may elect just to rescan this draft copy if it doesn't kill the resolution. If not, I'll just go back and make the edits using the software itself. But overall, I'm pleased. Here's a printed copy on matte paper, and this is the type paper. It's pretty thick. And I'll actually use this matte paper to go back over the battery holder that I actually have to still fabricate or create. So let's move on. Let's take a look at the Type A, which is a 950. I think this battery's got a date code around 1948, so it does predate the 1949 Tom Thumb, but this is the battery I'm going to use. I recreated these labels by rolling the battery down the scanner. At the same time I had the scanner in the 1200 dpi, so at a 1200 dpi it runs really slow. So you just rotate the battery, and then I just cropped out the section that I needed. And here you can see I'm just using some marker pens on top of the battery itself to recreate the blue and the red that was on that existing 950 Eveready battery. And I'm getting ready to affix the new label. Another quick look here at the top of the battery after using the marker pens. Again, it matches the 950 battery pretty well. Here's the label. Again, I'm going to use a spray adhesive I've used in the past. Just coat the back of the label that I created. Let it tack up for about 2 or 3 minutes and just roll it on the battery. And it seemed to work out real well. Here's just a couple photos of the battery after applying the new label. One thing I had to do, I had to stretch the label just a little bit. This battery is probably 3 millimeters longer, 3 or 4. So I did have to kind of stretch the label. And then on top I used clear fingernail polish just to protect the area where I used the blue and red markers to match the existing 950 cell. Over the next week or two, I'm going to fabricate a battery holder for my 9-volt batteries. I'll use 7 9-volt batteries here. Create a holder here for the Type 467 B battery. And then I'll go ahead and take the label and get it on the other 950 as well, that D cell battery. So you guys stay with me. Thanks again for joining, and I know I've picked up some new subscribers out there as well. If you're watching this video, thanks again for subscribing and taking time to view the videos.